our purpose here tonight, what we're doing. The purpose of this hearing is to consider public comments on an application for a new national pollutant discharge elimination discharge permit. Now it's referred to as NPDES. That's the short version. It is an EPA permit issued under the auspices of the Environmental Protection Agency. And the state of Tennessee is a participating state, and we have approval to issue these permits within the boundaries of the state. The permit is to discharge treated wastewater and stormwater from a proposed limestone quarry. The permit applicant is Wells Group Incorporated. The site name is Community Stone, and the draft NPDES permit number is TN 0069558. The site is located at 1327 1327 John Bragg Hwy in Woodbury, Kansas County, Tennessee. The mailing address for the Wells Group Incorporated is P.O. Box 732, Manchester, Tennessee. I'll introduce folks here from the state. I'm Jesse Jones, an environmental specialist from the Knoxville Environmental Field Office. We're part of the Tennessee Department of Environmental Conservation, Water Pollution Control, Tennessee Division of Water Pollution Control. We also have with us Stephen Tarasky, environmental specialist, and he is the permit reviewer and permit writer for this application. We also have Gary Mullins, who is the NPDES permit supervisor, and we're all from the Knoxville Environmental Field Office. Also with us tonight, we have Ms. Rita Thompson. Oh, okay. Sorry. We also have with us tonight Rita Thompson, who is the field inspector, and she's from the Cookeville Environmental Field Office. And we have Mr. Bill Hall, who is the interim Environmental Field Office manager, also from the Cookeville Environmental Field Office. Bill is in the back. Very succinct. Got a couple more folks coming in.
Talk a little louder, please.
I will, sir. I'm sorry.
Is it possible to get this PA system turned on?
I can speak louder. Can everyone hear me now? You should raise your hand. Can you hear me now? Okay.
I got you loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Okay, we got it. I thought I was speaking too loud. Okay, we ready to go? All right. So I've introduced our staff members, and I want to talk about the procedure we'll utilize for this hearing. Now, our authority is based on the Federal Clean Water Act of 1977, the Tennessee Water Quality Control Act of 1977, and supporting rules and regulations that govern the NPDES permit program. We do not have authority over a variety of issues, and they frequently come up at these hearings, and that would include blasting, noise, air pollution, traffic, land use, zoning, health, and safety. And these, as I say, these questions often come up. There are other government agencies, both federal and state, that do deal with these issues. And I have a handout here which gives Tennessee state agencies their address, telephone numbers, if you wish to contact some of these agencies about some of the issues that we deal with. For example, blasting. That is regulated by the Tennessee Department of Insurance and Commerce, Fire Marshal's office. Well, if you think you have a problem with that, then you can call that office or write them. And if you would like, please take one before you leave. Your comments and questions that you make tonight should be directed to water quality issues, to the NPDES permit, the effluent limits. All questions must deal with water quality issues. If you raise other questions, we'll listen to you, but that will not be involved in the determination for this permit. Now, we handed out attendance cards when you came into the room. We'd like for you to fill these cards out if you'd like to. And this is our record of attendance. And also, if you put your address there, this is where we will send our record as far as our determination is concerned, how we decide on this permit. If you have an email, please give that, and we can send you a copy electronically. And that's the quickest way to do it. So if you haven't put your email address down, please do so before you leave. Okay, we will also have a comment period after the hearing. It's a little more than 10 days, but by law it has to be 10 days. And the end of the comment period is July 13th, 2011. Now, during that period of time, you can submit written comments, emails, and these are given as much weight as the comments that you make here tonight verbally. Okay, now I want to give you some application and project information. Initial disturbance at this project site occurred in 2008 and involved the development of a ready-mix concrete plant. Site runoff and erosion control for this activity was covered under Tennessee's construction general permit. So the facility did have coverage under our Water Quality Act, a general permit, a construction general permit, which only regulates construction activity. However, operations at the site changed from construction activity to the development of a quarry, a limestone quarry, mining and processing involved. This change in operation required the operator to submit an application for an individual NPDES permit. And the individual NPDES permit authorizes the discharge of treated wastewater and stormwater. So when the facility changed to mining and processing, a new permit was required. And our agencies notified the operator that he needed this individual NPDES permit. The permit will cover 12.8 acres. The drainage control and treatment system is designed to minimize discharge activity by the use of berms and ditches that will divert surface runoff to a settling pond, which will be located in the quarry pit. The pond is designed for the volume of runoff expected from a 10-year, 24-hour storm event. And this is standard engineering practice in this industry. Discharges will be monitored at one outfall 001. The application also includes an alternative analysis that describes discharge and treatment options. For new NPDES permit applicants and for those who are seeking modification, we ask them to take a look at their site, what they're going to do. Are there any alternatives that they can utilize to prevent a discharge or in terms of treatment? And the applicant supplied this information. Now the receiving stream and the effluent limitations. Facility discharges will enter East Fork Stones River. Now the division has determined that this stream is exceptional Tennessee waters because of the presence of the Broly Fork crayfish, which is state listed as endangered. Now when you have a situation like this on a new applicant, what we have to decide first of all is whether or not this will degrade the stream. We cannot degrade the stream unless it's justified socially and economically. Now we first determine whether or not this is a degrading situation, whether the degradation as defined under our Water Quality Act will occur. We conducted a study and we also visited the site, did background information and study, and we found that this facility, the discharge, would not be degraded. Therefore, no such social and economic analysis or public meeting was required. The NPDES permit establishes discharge limitations for total suspended solids and pH. These limits are based on EPA promulgated effluent limitations and best professional judgment of the division. So we do follow EPA, their guidelines, as well as our State Water Quality Act and best professional judgment, based on what we've seen over the years at these sites. Discharges meeting these guidelines are protective of water quality and the designated uses of the receiving stream. Now, a little bit about the public participation aspect of this. The division announced the draft NPDES permit and application in a public notice on March 28, 2011. The application was re-noticed on April 21st, 2011, and the comment period extended until May 23rd, 2011. And we put our public notices on our state website. We also issued our notices to those who are on the mailing list, and the comment period was extended until May 23rd, 2011. The applicant name on the public notice was listed as Cannon County Ready Mix. However, subsequently, the applicant submitted an updated EPA application form with the site listed as Community Stone. The corporate name is listed as the Wells Group Incorporated. The notification for public hearing was announced in a public notice 2011-05 on May 10th, 2011, and published in the Cannon Courier, Woodbury, Tennessee, on May 10th, 2011. So it was published in the newspaper, and this is required by regulation. The company also posted a sign informing the public of the proposed activity. And this occurred on April 7th, 2011. Our public notice of the proposed discharge activity is also sent to the United States Army Corps of Engineers, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, and Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Those agencies have an opportunity to comment on our application if they feel that something is there that they regulate that they need to comment on. Okay, as far as our review and decision process, we will review and consider all comments and objections, oral and written, to the application and the draft NPDES permit. We can also ask for additional information from the applicant, if required, to complete the decision-making process. This can take a few weeks up to several months. Depends on how complicated it is, how much information we have to go through, and the number of comments that we receive. We do a thorough job in reviewing all of your comments. Everything is read, and I'll listen to everything that is said tonight. I forgot to mention that the operator is here, Mr. Jason Wells. If you want to raise your hand, sir. Okay. Are there any public officials here? Any county officials present? Okay, sir.
I'm a commissioner from the 5th district.
Okay.
Which is Woodbury.
Okay. Glad to have you, sir. Okay, we can start the comment process, and I'm going to we only have two